You know what's so funny? On Instagram the other day, someone was in my comments and they were like, Emmy, I feel like every single time I turn around, you are embarking on some new side quest, and I don't understand what's going on, but it's great. And I thought that was really funny because at the time, no one knew that I was doing this also. I've been planning this forever, for a very long time, and now here we are. It's happening. Welcome to the yapping bit, okay? If you are here from some other reason other than my accounts where I have explained the nature of this podcast, hello, welcome, let me get you caught up to speed. The yapping bit is basically a podcast designed for people who struggle to listen to podcasts, which is me. I don't know if it's the ADHD. I don't know if it's just because my brain has been fried by social media and it's very difficult to keep my attention to something that isn't a song or music for like 45 minutes or whatever it ends up being. But I've designed the yapping bit to be a series of mini podcasts within one larger podcast. So that way people who struggle to listen to longer podcasts can still listen to and enjoy a podcast of sorts, which is what this is. This is 5 bits that are 5 to 8 minutes long each. So in total, if you want to listen to the whole thing, thanks. It's up to 40 minutes or so. But if you want to just listen to one bit, if one bit interests you and the others don't, that's also totally fine. Rock out with your dick out, brother. Oh yeah, we're cursing on here. I should have said that. That's something that I should say. I don't know if I would say this is an NSFW podcast, but if you don't want your kids hearing swears, this is not what they should be listening to. What we are currently in right now is called the catch-up bit. This is basically updates on what's going on with me, current events, general yap. This is if I had a podcast where all I did was talk about random stuff, that's what this would be. And also, I'm doing something really fun where I'm recording, okay, you know what? Hold on. Once I start recording a bit, the rule is, in my head, it can't be redone. I can't re-record a bit. I can edit my videos to sound more coherent and everything, but I feel like on here, I just want this to be very unfiltered, which is something that's a little unusual for me because, if I'm recording a video and I want to re-record something, like a 1-2 second clip, and I'm like, I don't like how that sounded, or I would need to word that differently, I can pretty easily go ahead and just re-record that specific section, but I can't really do that here. I pause recording sometimes if I need to think of more stuff to say, or whatever in that sort of capacity of editing and thinking and all that sort of thing. But generally speaking, this is just going to be me talking into a microphone. No editing, really. I'm not going to be cutting stuff that I say out. At least I don't think I will be. I really just wanted this to be something that's super... I said unfiltered already. We're already getting into the problems of what's going to happen when I'm unfiltered because I know I talk very fast. So I feel like sometimes my mouth moves faster than my brain, and we might see that a little bit on this podcast. Now that we've effectively introduced the podcast, let's start getting into what the catch-up bit actually is, because I'm not going to start with 3 minutes or so of me explaining what the podcast is every time. Let's talk about what I've been up to, because I feel like I've actually had a lot going on right now, hence what I started this podcast with, where I was like, oh my god, it's so funny that someone was like, I feel like you're embarking on a lot of side quests. I'm embarking on a lot of side quests. I know I've been talking about this quite a bit, but I did just sign with a modeling agency, which I feel like is crazy. For me, silly me with me and all my vibes and everything that I am, to be like a model. That's so crazy to me. But I don't know, life paths are life paths, and this is where I'm going, guys. We're just riding it to see what happens. I also have a media pass for FanExpo Boston, which is coming up, that I'm so excited about, because I have been wanting to do stuff like this, like convention-related content specifically. I do it on my own. I don't really need to be partnering with a convention company, honestly. But I just think it's so cool to have a convention company, see what I'm doing and be like, we enjoy this, and we want you to be doing that where we are, to the point where we are going to advocate for you to be in our space. And I just think that's super cool and super nice. And Fan Expo is a really great convention company. I've gone to a bunch of their conventions in the past. The price point's really great. The experience is really great. I really love, overall, there's just so much to do, and it's such a giant scope of these different fandoms that exist in Fan Expo. So I'm super excited about all of that. I'm super excited about this. I have a lot of really cool stuff going on right now. I don't know why I've just decided that I'm just going to do every single thing that I've ever wanted to do in my life, but I think it's going well. And now we're sort of getting into what I'm going to talk about during the feelings bit, which is the next bit that we're going to have. But, I think it's so important to be sitting around and just deciding cool shit for yourself. Because I don't know about y'all, I'm having so much fun. I'm having a great time. And just like that, that's the catch-up bit. You guys, you've listened to a mini podcast already. I'm so proud of you. You're iconic. I promise next month when we have another, catch-up bit, I'll be able to, actually get into more of, what's actually going on. Because I did have to spend about half of the catch-up bit right now talking about, like, what the actual podcast is, because we're on episode 1. Okay, we're starting. I don't know how you guys are finding this podcast, so I figured I would just cover all my bases. But thank you so much for being here, and I'm so stoked. This is so cool. Let's get into the feelings bit. I feel like of everything that I'm recording today, the thing that I am most excited genuinely to record is the feelings bit, which I don't know why that is. I think because I love talking about everything else, and I love different things with the different bits that I'm doing. Like, I chose all of them very carefully, and I'm very confident in every choice that I've made with this podcast thus far. But I feel like particularly with this bit, I'm talking about, like, the podcast and creativity with respect to big feelings here, okay? Because a lot of what I was doing, particularly I want to say last year, so much of what I was doing was taking my talents and the things that I know that I'm good at and sort of giving them to other people, if that makes sense. Like, it was a lot of me doing cool stuff for other, like, groups and other people, and, like, I loved doing it, but it's also been really cool to see what happens when I put that amount of energy that I was putting into other people into myself, if that makes sense. Like, I have been so programmed in my life and how I view what my value is creatively to just, like, get an idea. Like, my first idea when the first time I thought of doing this podcast in this sort of format, my immediate thought was, okay, who can I give this idea to? Who can I give this to that will actually be able to do something meaningful with it? And quite frankly, that is so batshit bananas that my first thought with my good idea for my project was to think of how to give it to someone else and how someone else can see the benefits of doing something awesome, like both internally and creatively, and also externally, where, like, this is a podcast. I am making a podcast. That is something I am doing. But I'm also not just talking about the podcast. Like, I would do a lot of stuff with, like, social media for, like, other groups and things like that. And I honestly, I mean, it was fun and I had a great time and I got a lot of experience and I really loved it and I would totally do it again. But I feel like seeing the value in myself and deciding to invest that same amount of energy in myself has been so transformative. It has been so transformative. We live in a world that is so programmed to just wake up and go to a 9-to-5 or go to work or go wherever and work for someone else. And, like, the paycheck is considered enough, I guess, to be doing work for other people. But it's so important, I think, to be valuing things other than a paycheck. And I know that's kind of easy, I guess, for me to say, because I do have a full-time job on top of all the other crazy stuff that I do. But in a world where we are so programmed to go and do work for other people, it's so important to have your own work that is just for you. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the root of what I'm trying to get at. See, I mentioned in the catch-up bit that, like, a lot of what I'm going to be saying is going to be, like, sort of unfiltered. And I feel like if I wrote all of this, like, out and I read it from a script or something ridiculous, or I edited it, like, really specifically, it would all be very concrete and everything. But that's not what this is. The whole point is that this is a feelings conversation, and I don't want it to feel like it's a script. And I'm not sure if this feels like a FaceTime or a TED Talk or whatever. I guess the whole point of what I'm trying to say in this bit for this particular episode, I guess, is that you should be, like, I understand it's so difficult to not be burnt out from, like, work. Do you know what I mean? I know. I have a 9-to-5. I work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. And it is so hard to not let what you're doing in a job, like a job where you're working for someone else, it's a paycheck, whatever. It's so hard to not let that consume you, if that makes sense. But there is so much reward in finding value in things that go beyond that, things that go into, like, not, and I don't even mean just, like, work, and I also don't mean in relationships, because as much as relationships are great, I think, like, being able to find things in yourself that have value regardless of whether or not other people are involved is so important and so good for people. So I guess what I'm saying in this feelings bit, if you will, is have the stuff that you do for other people, because inherently humans are intrinsically good people and they want to be doing things for other people. Hopefully, at least that's what I like to believe. I don't know, but it's okay to be doing things for other people, but just make sure that equal amounts of energy are being put into things that benefit you. And I'm going to hit people with something totally crazy that no one ever wants to say out loud. you deserve to see the benefits of what you're doing. In whatever capacity you want that to mean for you, you deserve to see the benefits of the energy that you're putting into the world. Whoa. Isn't that crazy? Aren't I so crazy for that? If you take anything from the feelings bit today, I hope that's what you take from it. And just like that, guys, you've actually survived the feelings bit. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. This is going to be the heavier part of the yapping bit, I think. And it might not be for everyone, honestly. And I also do know that I'm quite literally just a girl. I am not, by any definition, a medical professional or therapist or anything. And I'm also 26. I haven't lived a lot of life, truly. I know people say, like, people in their mid-20s or whatever are always like, oh my God, I feel so old. I'm so scared to turn 30. I'm a baby. I'm a child. I don't know anything. But these are just sort of my perspectives on the world, okay? Yeah, all right. Anyway, let's get into the rec bit. The rec bit. Hello. I'm so stoked right now. Most of the time, the rec bit is very much going to be something that I am, like, just telling you guys what I've watched, read, listened to, whatever, in the past month. But this time, I feel like, since this is the first time, I feel like I need to give you a general sense of what I'm into and what I like, because if what I like is the opposite of what you like, my recommendations might mean jack squat to you, okay? And that's fine. My recommendations are allowed to mean jack squat, but I don't know. I just want to keep everything out in the open as we start this out. As far as movies go, I actually feel like my top 4 on Letterboxd, which if you don't follow me on Letterboxd, follow me on Letterboxd. But my top 4 on Letterboxd is a really good indication of what type of movies I enjoy, like overall. Like I really cover all my bases over there. Lisa Frankenstein is in my top 4 on my Letterboxd watch, and I know that there are people who are going to listen to this who don't like Lisa Frankenstein, okay? I know she's misunderstood. People don't like that movie. Whatever. This is my podcast. I can talk about whatever I want. But I love Lisa Frankenstein because I love a silly camp movie. I love a horror comedy. I love a silly movie that doesn't have to be taken too seriously. It's one of my favorite genres. And I feel like Lisa Frankenstein sort of hits that nail on the head. Also, for recommendations of what I literally did watch in this past month, like literally 2 days ago, I watched the movie Death of a Unicorn with Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd. Listen, I know that movie is also getting a lot of flack, but I had a great time watching it. You can't go into that movie thinking it's very serious because it's not, but I love that movie. That movie is so fun. The next one in my top 4 is Us, the Jordan Peele movie from 2019. That one's in my top 4 because I love an artsy horror film. I talk about artsy horror films actually a lot with Jake Abel, who, like, whenever I see him, I'm always asking, like, if there's an artsy horror film out, I'm always asking him, I'm like, did you see it? Did you watch it yet? We'll get into Jake stuff, though, during the fandom bit. But, so yeah, I love an artsy horror movie. Jordan Peele is one of my favorite directors. After that, I have Avatar 2. I love Avatar 1 too. I don't know. I just love an ocean aesthetic. Maybe that's why I like number 2 better. But that's my love of I love the Avatar movies. Oh my God, I love the Avatar movies so much. I love them so much. But I think that's really sort of indicative of my love of, maybe, I don't know if I want to say more mainstream popular movies, but like movies that are really like have that sort of acclaim and those different types of things. Like I love, like, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Right? Maybe I'm not good at this podcast thing. You know what I'm saying. It's fine. My 4th movie on there is actually Wicked, Part 1. And that's sort of meant to encapsulate my love of musicals and musical theater. Also, I love a big cinematic, elaborate film sometimes. I go back and forth. I don't know. But Wicked is one of my favorite musicals of all time, and I love that musical. And this isn't in my top 4 because there can't be more than 4 in a top 4. But if it was a top 5 on Letterboxd, I would put The Princess and the Frog and Snow White, like one of those, like the originals. Because I love animation. I think this is something that's maybe lesser known about me. 2D animation is one of my favorite things in the entire world. I think 2D animation is so beautiful, so underrated, particularly everyone knows that I love the Disney princesses. I talk about it very often. But one of the reasons that I love so many, especially the older Disney princesses, is because the animation is so stunning. It's so beautiful. And I feel like we've really lost that because now I love animation now. They all have their place and everything. I mean, Moana is stunning. Frozen is stunning. But I feel like a lot of the characters these days kind of look like Cocomelon babies, which is fine. But I don't know. I have a really acute love of like 2D animation or like interesting animation. Like, what the hell is it? Oh my god, what am I fucking saying? What's it called? Oh my god, my ADHD is coming out in real time. Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. Jesus Christ, that took way too long. That took so long. But I love the animation of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I love it so much. As far as books go, I read a lot of stuff. Honestly, I read a very large variety. I love a romance book. I love a fantasy. I love a classic. What else do I love? I'm currently reading I Who Have Never Known Men, which has been incredible. And I'm also currently reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. At most, I can read 2 books at a time. I also can't promise that those books will be finished by next month because I don't know what's been going on with me this year. I haven't finished a single book since last November. How messed up is that? How messed up is that? It's July. When I'm recording this, it's July 27th. What is that about? And with TV, I recently just finished watching The Handmaid's Tale, which, okay, guys, I know that's not my general brand and genre of what I usually talk about on the internet, but that show is phenomenal. And it's such an insane thing to start watching in 2025 because I feel like when so many of the earlier seasons came out, some of the stuff that was considered dystopian was like out of this world insane, and some of it's just like happening now. Which this isn't really a political podcast, but we all know where I lie. We all know where I stand on all that stuff. So that's an insane show to watch. I'm always looking for more recommendations of things to watch and listen to and all these different types of things. So if you do have something that you want me to watch and talk about during the rec bit, feel free to email it to me. My email is in the description of the podcast. Also, I'm well aware that people are expecting me to talk about Countdown in this section. We're saving that for the Fandom Bit, which is next. So stick around, okay? Because we're about to get into that now. Yeah, we're officially in the Fandom Bit. It's time. Hello. I know this is probably where most people are at least going to start residing. Welcome to the Fandom Bit. Updates. What's going on? Let's talk about everything that I personally want to talk about going on fandom-wise. As I promised, we're going to talk about Countdown. I'm on episode 3, I believe, right now of Countdown because it's hard to watch, all right? I need y'all to walk with me on this. It's hard to watch Jensen spoiler! It's hard to watch Jensen basically be dying. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time. I'm struggling emotionally. It's a hard time. Also, why does he look that good when he's dying? No, because I think we need to talk about it. I think we need to talk about, like, how realistic it is that he looks that good while he's literally dying. Brain tumor the size of a golf ball in the middle of his brain. Hello? What are we talking about? Why does he look that good? That's annoying. Speaking of him looking good, what is up with all the photo shoots he's doing? These photo shoots, he looks sensational. Annoying. You know what's so funny? It's actually diabolical. And I should probably give this as like a preface as I get into this podcast for people who aren't super like in tune with what I post on the internet. I say stuff like this all the time, particularly about Jensen Ackles. Who does he think he is? He's diabolical. Can't stand him. He's too pretty. It's annoying. I say that because how else am I supposed to cope? No, how else am I need y'all to give me options because I don't know how else I'm supposed to cope. He doesn't get to be that good looking and nice and funny and talented. He doesn't get to have it all. That's not fair. I think I should be allowed legally to say the things that I say about Jensen Ackles. Love him so much. Love him and adore him. He's the worst. Can't stand it. Imagine, like, people are gonna clip this and be like, Emmie hates Jensen. Oh my god, that man has more of my money in his wallet than I do. He's fine, guys. He's okay. We also need to talk about all the screenings that are going on that I'm missing. What's that about, guys? What is going on? Why is everyone else getting everything that I deserve? No, because I'm angry. If we're speaking legally here, I should have been able to go to the X's premiere. I should have been able to watch it in the theater with everyone at Novi. That's how I feel in my heart. Matt Cohen, if you're out there, where is it? Where can I watch it? When's it my turn? I want it. I want it bad. I'm foaming at the mouth. I'm gnawing at the bars of my enclosure trying to get my hands on X's so I can watch it. And public domain, the people in August in Austin who are going to get to watch the first episode, guys. No, I'm yelling. I need to back away from the microphone. Guys, I'm yelling. Why don't I get to do that? Why don't I get to watch Public Domain's first episode? When is it my turn? When is it my time? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm really excited for everyone who's going to get to experience that and who's going to get to go to blah, 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 whatever, all the things that I have to say to seem nice and like I'm not a jealous, diseased bitch. I'm aware of everything that I need to say, but also, I want it now. It's my money and I need it now. If you have the opportunity to go to the screening of Public Domain and you don't go, I'm not kidding, you're dead to me. Never speak to me again. I want to see that show so bad. I literally, you know what's so crazy? I talked about this a little bit in the Rex bit, but I have such an acute love of 2D animation. And I love original ideas. I love an original idea. And I feel like public domain is such an original idea to have this bar where all these characters that are in the public domain hang out and also make it raunchy and crazy. Like, it's like if Big Mouth was made with Hercules. That's crazy. I'm just so supportive of that show. I would do anything for that show. I'll bring coffee, anything at all. I will do anything. I mean, at least it coming out in Austin was just like coincidental though. Like, it was just ready by Austin, so they're like premiering the first episode in Austin. Like, at least it's not like what Jake Abel fucking said in Novi. I think it was this month. When the hell was Novi? Who cares? I don't care when he said this shit. But all I know is that into a microphone in front of a whole audience, he said that his horror movie Red Mask is not coming out in America right now to spite me. Literally what? I'm sorry? What? Wait, pause. You know, it's so funny. When that panel was happening, I posted a video about this, but like, I was at my grandparents' party. Like, I was at a family event, and my phone just started like blowing up to the point where people were like, "Are you okay?" Because my entire family was like, "Why are you good?" And then I disappeared for a while so I could record that video and like see what the hell is going on with that. But like, no one ever posted any videos of his panel, so I will never know. I will never truly know everything that was said on that panel. But all I know is that he wouldn't shut up about me. Jake Abel, I know what you are. You're obsessed with me. I know it. I know you are. It's fine. I'm not obsessed with you. Clearly, I don't even like him. What we're learning in the fandom bit today is that the way that I show admiration for people is so much it's polarized. I'm either like, hey yo, screw them, fuck them, they suck, or I'm like, that is my starshine angel bear wonder biscuit who I want to kiss on the mouth and cheek and also hug forever until I die. Like, there's no middle ground for me. It's one or the other. I think it really depends on the person. I feel like with a lot of the women, it's the I love her so much and she's perfect and whatever, and then with a lot of the guys, it's very much like, hey yo, screw him, hey yo, hate him. Meanwhile, I'm like, I love them. Like, they're wonderful. I love everybody. I do. And I'm sure I'll get more into fandom stuff in the questions bit, but thank you for hanging out, I guess, for the fandom bit. Let's get into questions. For the questions bit, there are two separate ways that you can send questions for this section. You can either email me. My email is bestie_Emmie@gmail.com, or it's in the description if I said that too fast, because everyone always says I talk too fast. Or every Saturday on my Instagram, which is also bestie_Emmie, I do a Q&A, which is what I did for this. I pulled some of those really good questions that were from there to answer here on the podcast. So I'll be doing a mixture of both of those. You can also, like I said in the Rex bit, you can send, like, if you want me to talk about a movie or a book or something specific, like, send it there and I'll try. But let's get into questions, okay? This week, I get this question, I think pretty much every week, but, I get it all the time. But this week, it was from someone named Lemon Boy, and they asked if I have any advice for someone going to a convention for the first time. I genuinely think, because I could give you advice on the specifics of how conventions work. I could give you advice on what you should bring. I could give you advice on all different sorts of things. And I've tried to cover all of those bases in all my videos and every other place that I've yapped about things on the internet. But I genuinely think the biggest and best advice that I can give you is that it might not go perfect. It might not go perfect, okay? Walk with me. I know that sounds scary. I'm sure it does. I'm so sorry. And I don't mean to say that it's gonna go badly, but I feel like people, especially in their first convention, I know I did this, where people will put so much pressure on themselves to have a good time that it will make it difficult to have a good time. I don't know if I'm just crazy and I'm the only one that does that, but that's definitely something that I do. And I feel like something so important for your first convention is to not take that stuff super seriously. Some stuff's gonna be weird. You're gonna be nervous at some points, and all of that is okay, because there's no right or wrong way to go to a convention. However you do is going to be fine. And you know what? You're gonna survive it regardless. Even if it does go terrible, because trust me, my first convention went terrible. Even if it does go terrible, you're gonna survive. And you know what? If it does go bad, you can go to another one. They don't end. I've been going to them pretty consistently for a few years now. You don't have to stop going. It's great. For the next one, niav.m asked me how I got into social media. And I feel kind of bad because I feel like there's always a very, I don't know. My answer to this question is that I tried so hard for so long to do pretty much exactly what I'm doing now. I mean, when I was a kid, I had a webcam and like a camera, and I would record videos and I would pretend to edit them. I've had multiple different YouTube channels. When I lived in Hawaii, I had a vlog channel that I'm pretty sure is actually still up. If you want to, you could probably go find it or watch it or whatever. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but you could probably find it somewhere. And I did that for a while. And then I also tried a couple different sectors of TikTok. And then eventually, truly what ended up happening was that I started watching Supernatural and I started posting reactions, and then that thing happened when people start watching Supernatural, and like the Supernatural fandom really just sort of grabbed onto me and didn't let go. And it's been so great. I mean, it's become such a part of who I am now. Like, I can't imagine doing anything else. So I did that pretty casually for the first couple of years that I was in the fandom, and then I don't know what happened. I feel like earlier this year, like in January, I was like, I'm actually gonna lock in and try. I was like, I'm gonna be someone who actually tries to do things on social media, and I'm gonna post every single day, and I'm gonna do all the things, and I'm gonna come up with ideas and everything, all the energy that I've been investing into other groups and people and different things. I'm gonna start investing that into myself and see what happens, and it's been going great, I guess. But I think the most important thing of it all is that I'm genuinely having so much fun. Which I'm sure probably sounds so lame, but I'm having so much fun. I'm doing so much work. I mean, it's a Sunday. It's like 2:30 p.m. right now, and I'm sitting here, and I've been recording a podcast for like an hour and a half, even though it's only like a 30-minute podcast because I have to make sure that everything works. But I'm having such a good time. I'm doing so much work for all of this stuff and these goals that I have of building communities and things, but I'm having such a good time doing it, which is why I think it's working so well. But yeah, I guess that's how it all started. But it's crazy to be like, when I was a kid, like I wanted exactly this, but I didn't have a way to like get the platform that I have right now. And I feel like finding community here with everyone that I've found community with has been such a great way to go about getting that and being able to make meaningful content that helps people and brings, I mean, it's so crazy. I've had so many incredible like conversations with people at conventions asking me like, or like telling me, I guess, like the way that they were like so nervous about conventions and they didn't know what to expect and they weren't going to go and they wanted to meet XYZ celebrity person, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they were nervous and they were intimidated or they were too scared, but they saw my stuff online and they like then got, I guess, the confidence, or it became more transparent for them to be able to go and get that opportunity to go to a convention and do the things that I love doing. And that's so rewarding for me to have people who are like, oh my God, thank you so much for the silly, ridiculous, quite frankly, stuff that you post on the internet, because having that change, and because conventions are some of my favorite things in the whole world, and to have other people be able to experience my favorite kind of joy is one of my favorite things. To encourage other people to experience my favorite kind of joy is it's such a gift and like a rewarding feeling. I'll be honest, I hope the audio isn't worse. I had to pause because I was hot, so I moved a fan. I hope you guys can still... Oh, you can definitely hear the fan. You know what? We're going to leave the fan in. We're real over here on the yapping bit. There, okay, I turned it down a little bit. That should be better. The last one is from Beth in the House 123, and she asked me how the Emmie Jake Abel rivalry started. Guys, can I be so honest with you? I don't know how I got here. I feel like I wish I had like a real, honest, genuine answer for you where I could be like, yeah, this was the definitive starting point, but the truth is I met him once in 2022 and I said, that's my victim. He is never going to be rid of me for as long as he lives. We're in this for the long haul. And here I am, truly. I feel like he and we just have a very similar, I was going to say brain mechanism. We have a very similar crazy sense of humor. And I don't know, I think it's over the years at this point, it's very much evolved into whatever it is now. I'm all jokes aside though, I know I talk a lot of shit about Jake. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I've said that and you can quote me on it, but I feel like the amount that stuff with Jake has evolved into what it is now is A, not something I ever expected. B, it's been a really awesome thing just because he's I hate being nice to him. He's the best dude. He really is. It's soul crushing, isn't it, that he rules and he's so awesome. But I'm very lucky to have whatever I have with him because he's the best. Ew, I never said that. Don't tell him I said that. That's the end of the question bit. We have to end there because if I keep talking nice about him, it's over. It's over for me, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Yapping Bit. Stay sexy, stay yappy. Keep the bits up, guys. We're doing it. Happy first episode of the podcast. You made it.